do you think they can do? 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 Irrelevant. Irrelevant. We have others if they fail. 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 But. We will send them resources. We will send them resources. We will send them resources. Don't worry so much. Don't worry so much. Don't worry so much. Okay. But we can't forget that there's still you. Indeed, you are correct. You are correct. But we also cannot forget. That there is much more at stake. What? He's waking up. Damn, we gave him enough to put down the knocks. Administer another dose.
Good day, and welcome to my first ever video. Before you click off, I just want to introduce the series quickly. It is fully edited, even if it is a bit basic. I do hope to improve as time goes on. This is a barely modded series. I only have 3 mods installed, all of which will be linked in the description below. They don't really affect the gameplay all that much. You will see as we get into the series, and I don't want to take any more time away, so the rest of the series will be explained as we go. Thank you so much. Sit back, relax, get some tea, and enjoy. It was supposed to be a minor surgery. Just an hour under anesthetic. I felt totally safe. Now, I've awoken inside of a drop pod punching through the atmosphere of a distant RimWorld. Aside from a slick of mysterious goo all over my body, I'm totally naked, with no preparation, no supplies, and no tools. How am I going to survive? First things first, if we are going to survive, we need to build a shelter. I'm going to designate some trees over here to cut for wood so that I can build a structure and perhaps create a fire. And this area over here looks like it has some good soil. Yes, we should be able to build a shelter around it. And in the meantime, we're going to have to live off of berries. But while he gets to work, let me introduce our protagonist. His name is Saros of Clan Skygloom. He and his tribe has for a long time had contact with the Sky people. He comes from a peaceful tribal planet where everyone is celebrated for their individuality. As a baby, he was born sickly and he was left the spirits of the land in hopes that he might survive. The spirits did indeed look favorably upon him, and he lives today. As he grew, he learned to love the stories of his people and became a lawkeeper to them. His toughness, humility, and keen intellect is going to be essential for survival on this planet. Time to start planning a basic structure. Some of the land, as you can see, is not really suitable for building on. We're going to need to plan to put a shelter around our crops so that we can prevent animals from getting in, as well as our first structure for living in attached to it, sort of like a semi-detached hut. Something like this, I think, should work, at least to start. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take advantage of all the rich soil around here, but this should do just fine. And as you can see, I've also put in the plans for an adjoining structure. This is for future expansion, if we make it that far, that is. My basic structure is going to serve as a place to sleep and eat, but eventually I'll want this extra space sectioned off for other things such as a workshop, or perhaps even a study or a research room. Alas, unfortunately my structure is still incomplete by the time the stars rise high up in the heavens. However, at least I can sleep in this corner for now. Unfortunately, my time as a law keeper had kept me out of the hard construction work of the other village people. So, even though I like it, I am a bit out of practice. With the sun rising, so too must I. Fresh air. Spent the rest of the day building and collecting wood, until finally, my first rudimentary structure is complete. I'm starting to exhaust all the berry bushes around me, but this area is quite large. I shall just have to travel a little bit further out until I find some more food. These berries sure are tasty, but I am most certainly looking forward to having something a little bit more filling soon. Working late into the night once again, my home is finally complete, and I've begun to sow some rice. I'm going to have to start thinking about hunting as well, for meat and for some leathers, so I can protect my modesty and keep warm. I finally made a simple short bow. I'm going to use it for hunting and protection. It's not my finest work, but good enough for survival purposes. Maybe I should make something for some more personal and up-close engagements. It's probably fine. I'm planning on funneling hostile creatures and people into a trap tunnel. I've also made a simple war mask, which according to our tribe's tradition, in addition to protecting the head and face, it also helps us to channel the fury of our ancestors against the tyrants who hope to oppress us and others. Speaking of trap tunnels, here's my first design. What do you think? I think it should work. In the histories, my people often employed such structures as these against our enemies. I managed to catch my first deer on this planet. Usually this kind of work was reserved for the tribe hunters. But now, without my tribe, I have to become a new tribe unto myself. And almost immediately, as if nature were furious at me for forgetting to perform some sacred rite, a rat went crazy and began to attack me. I managed to kill the damn thing, but not before he left a sizable scratch across my eye. That's gonna leave a mark. Some transport pods carrying baby food crash-landed nearby as well. Perhaps it was sent by those who put me here. It doesn't taste all that great, but at least it's preserved, and I'm sure it will see me through some difficult times. A war merchant from a nearby tribe wandered by the next day. Fortunately, I didn't really have anything to trade with them, but I am at least glad to know that I'm not alone on this planet. Later that same day, a child named Shuri, perhaps following the convoy, begged for silver. She needed the money to pay ransom for her sister who was abducted by pirates. Ancestors know that I would help if I could, but I have no silver to give her. This is an important event, however, for two reasons. I've learned first of all that silver is a currency on this planet, and that there are in fact pirates who roam freely enough. I'm sorry, Shuri. May the ancestors guide you. A couple of days later, my first crop of rice began to come in. I'm very excited to eat something from the fruits of my labor. Well, I guess technically the veg of my labor. The next day, some more food fallen down from the heavens. like manna falling upon leaves. Whoever is watching over me is preparing me well for the trials to come. I eagerly gather up the pemmican. A pirate crash landed nearby. I reckon she saw my campfire over the mountains and came here to rob me. I stripped her of her clothing, as up until now I've been basically naked, and I left her to nature. If she survives, so be it. She's in the hands of the ancestors now. And if you're wondering how I know she's a pirate, that's a very good question. I heard a loud crash one foggy and rainy evening. As I looked outside, I saw a transport pod, much like my own, hurtling towards the river which hugs my territory. A woman. She was far less fortunate than I. Her pod seemed to fail as it entered the troposphere, leaving her wounded and dying. I could hear her screams from outside my hut. I went to investigate. She begged me to take her in. There was turmoil within myself. She was suffering from paralytic aphasia. Apparently, whatever anesthetic she was put under had a lasting effect on her body. I do not have the resources for us both to survive. It was a difficult decision, but if I had to take her in, then we would both die. The least I can do is make her end swift. I took her out to the river. I do not know. I thought that maybe I would drown her, but she screamed such hateful, terrible things at me. I panicked and I left her there. I left her to drown. I went back to sleep again. Maybe it was just some bad dream, but it took so many hours for her screaming to end. Ancestors preserve me. What have I done? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you really enjoyed this little adventure of mine. If you enjoyed, give a like and subscribe, and to continue watching Saris's story. If you have any advice or any questions you would like to ask, please leave a comment below. Also, just some information on the series. I'm planning on doing an extended series where I will be following the story of Saris for quite a bit longer, and then maybe intertwine it with so many other stories. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks so much. Anyway, hope to see you next time. Bye.